Hello and welcome to the Strategic Bookkeeper podcast. In today's program, we're diving into a look inside the transformation program based on a bunch of questions that I've got via email, or what I'd like to call questions, comments, suggestions. I am very grateful to the bookkeepers who've reached out with open hearts and open minds and just told me what's on their mind in terms of thinking about joining the program and wondering about various aspects. Okay, so this has allowed me to share what is a pretty long podcast episode from me. I think it was close to 40 minutes. So my advice to you is if it works for you, you can absolutely speed me up 1.2, 1.3 speed. Okay. I do hope you get tons out of this episode in terms of evaluating whether you'd like to join our program, and I'll see you in there. I'm Jeannie Savage, the Strategic Bookkeeper. I've been in practice for 14 years, but more importantly, 5 years in, I achieved a lifestyle practice. This means I scaled my business, could take my hands off the wheel, and draw a nice six-figure income while being time rich. And that's what I call my dream on my terms. I was recently awarded Women in Finance Innovator of the Year, recognizing my book, my podcast, my program, and my impact globally. The Strategic Bookkeeper is my life's work, and the opportunity to help bookkeepers globally achieve the income and lifestyle that sets them free absolutely fills my cup. Please do connect with me on socials at the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group, or shoot me an email, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. Hello. Okay, so firstly, thank you for your email and your questions and also comments, suggestions. I've got a few emails here in front of me, and as all of them tend to cover off similar things, I thought I'd create one audio clip and they'll cover off everything and hopefully give you a few more insights into the program. While I record this audio, I am actually looking at the Transformation Program Academy, okay? Because the first thing I just want to mention about the program as such is how we make everything work. So you've probably read my book by now, which is the 7 ingredients, right? Or the 7 steps, whichever way you want to look at it. Brand, menu, attraction, conversion, succession, systems, and team. But the way that we make this work inside the program, I cannot understate enough. So it's team, education, assets, implementation, support, 5 things, okay? I literally remember being at my whiteboard developing these. Let's just go through them very briefly now. So team. So one of the questions I've had from some bookkeepers is around the fee structure for the transformation program. So the transformation program is about $5,000 for the year, okay? So it's US dollars. We support bookkeepers all over the world, so that's the currency that we have chosen, and we give you the option to do that as $99 a week, which is like a payment plan. And beyond year 1, around 70% of our members elect to stay in what I call full Monty, okay? So stay in as licensed membership members, and I think that's a testament to the massive impact. And as you'll hear in the success panel, a lot of bookkeepers generate 6-figure results in the space of a year. For me, I really love to see bookkeepers get a 10x return, because one of my mentors really encourages us when we're pricing what we do to really think about it having 10x on a value, okay? Now, in terms of team and the fee structure that we charge, the minute that you join our program, it's like recruiting a 6-figure team, okay? So in my little slides that I've got here, basically, if you imagine that you're a bookkeeper in practice, and I'm thinking of some of the tribe members like Karen Andrews that's been in not long, but she's got 10 on her team and a really good practice. And then someone like Karen Thompson that joined when she was only 6 months into her practice, all by herself, living out of her savings. And Deb Stevenson, 40 years in, last ditch attempt. So if we think about no matter where you are, like Karen that's already got a lot of team, the power of the team that you recruit when you join the program absolutely is 6 figures. How do I know that? Well, when I recruited that team to serve you, it actually cost me 6 figures. It wasn't something that was sustainable for one bookkeeper to afford, right? but I did it knowing that my deep desire was to help bookkeepers all over the world. And to this day, I maintain for you a 6-figure team. And when you join, everything behind the scenes that is built and developed and maintained and the coaching and more is a 6-figure team. Okay, so when I look at the fee that we charge you for joining, okay, you are investing that $99 a week in everything you need to thrive in practice, to increase your income, your time, and to build a scalable bookkeeping practice is inside the program. And if you are going to go and learn and build and implement all by yourself, it's going to cost you a lot more than joining the program. Okay. So if you haven't found exactly the success you want right now, and I talk to bookkeepers who tell me, I'm pretty happy with the practice, but if you're looking at my program, then likely you either feel like I don't really have enough time, wealth, I don't have enough income. Maybe you're like Karen Andrews and the practice is really solid, but you feel like it could be more efficient. Therefore, Karen and I have identified we can probably double her gross profits in a year, mainly with advisory, with standard operating procedures, and with some work around pricing as well, okay? What I mean there is a reason for you to join. And make no mistake that the investment in the transformation program is a fraction of what it will cost you to go and try and do it anywhere else, okay? So that's the first one related to these 5 pillars I've got in front of me related to team. And if you want to know about the team, this is some of the top 10. So business strategist, marketing strategist, brand and graphics, marketing copywriting, social media, website design, systems and team, product and pricing, business development, advisory systems. They are just 10 of the team that you don't have to recruit. So what you save when you join our program massively 10 times outweighs what you are spending. Now, in terms of the other pillars, because this is how we make the program work, and this is actually what you need to do regardless of joining the program. So if you don't join my program, this is what you need to do. Recruit a team, educate yourself, build the assets that you need, my friend. Okay, so build the digital collateral on all the assets end to end that you see in the bookkeeping practice blueprint on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, especially on the left-hand side. You need to build everything, okay? Your $1 million storybook brochure, your video sales letter, all of your product letter, yeah? Content, welcome line, nurture assets, that's a big one, okay? We give you 10 done for you, killer, tested, measured, welcome line, nurture assets. So you're going to have to build all those. Implementation, okay, you're going to have to implement what you learn and build with your team, okay? Test and measure it and refine it until it's perfect, okay? And those 4 keys are what is done for you and done with you inside the program, okay? And then the last of the 5 keys on how we make everything work inside the program is the support of your mastermind group, which is the private paying community inside the private Facebook group. And I did just interview 5 members on the public podcast as well. I'm literally looking at comments in the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group from Tracy Brooks Ferreira. Tracy actually was in the transformation program for a year, and she's one of the 30% that elected to spread her wings and fly. Then we've got Jen has commented too. Jen is still a member. She's a graduate club member, okay? So right now, I might read out what they've said, remembering that Tracy chose to be in for a year and get all the value in that year, and Jen is remaining a licensed membership graduate club member, okay? So Tracy says, I did the program for a year. It will help you change pricing structure and therefore increase revenue. It will assist you in marketing, networking, and show you how to engage a team. I also think a little manifestation is at play too. I managed to replace the income I received from a high-paying job and now work a few hours a week checking the work on my team. I hired a few clients and picked up new ones along the way. and Jeannie shows you how to value what you do and helps you change your beliefs. The tribe are very supportive too. This for me is a great work-life balance, as my second husband is retired and I couldn't afford to retire him, but now I work part-time and earn well over $100,000 per year. Yes, I could build the business more, but I'm loving where I'm at right now. I don't believe you'll regret it if you follow the process. Okay, so fantastic. That's just directly from another tribe member who has actually left the program now. Okay, decided that the year was enough for her. Now, she may at some stage come back if she decides to grow the business. And if she does that, I'm sure she'll give me a call directly. Now, Jen, who you can also hear from in a podcast and our success panel, I haven't read her response yet, so I'm going to read it directly out to you. So it'll be my first time reading it as well. So, hi, it is, as you say in the program, has support in all areas of a bookkeeping practice. And the best items that it supports with are around products and pricing, which is often the areas that bookkeepers struggle. We want to help everyone and often are known to undercharge for our skills and abilities, and we are usually very analytical thinkers, which limits us in terms of the marketing realm. Jeannie Savage teaches you how to build audience, run events, and set up and maintain social media in just a few hours a month, as well as providing lots of ongoing resources that you can use in these areas rather than trying to create everything yourself. I am in my second year with Jeannie and still implementing these things. And if I am unsure what I'm doing, I can show up to the regular meetings and talk about where I'm stuck and get help and redirection to help get me back on track. This is not a cost. It is really an investment because you will earn the feedback many times over. Okay, so now we have got at least one, maybe a couple more bookkeepers asking about the money back guarantee. So the money back guarantee is pretty simple. If a very special podcast interruption. Listen up, my friends. The doors to the transformation program are open. That's right. You can go to the strategicbookkeeper.global/TSB and join up right now. But here's the thing. This is the last time we are opening the doors in 2024. Okay, so this is the last call and they are closing on October 23. Now, if you've got any questions, you can send me an email to hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. To the bookkeepers who are backing themselves and going for it, I'll see you inside the program. If you follow the program step by step and you can't make at least the program feedback over the space of a year, I'll give you a refund. I was also asked if we have issued any refunds. Now, with the members of our program, once they've gone through that 12 months, so that happened, the first cohort went through in August 2024, and we have not been asked to issue one refund. Okay, so getting your return on investment from the program is very, very easy. Okay, another bookkeeper asks, in terms of how to grow your practice by using the program, do you offer marketing assistance, help us find networks to reach out to, or are the members who join your program, do they already have networks? Okay, so really great question. So first of all, yes, I help you grow. I'd rather help you scale. So that is kind of a funny business term. Growing is where you grow revenue. So growing is just increasing the amount of business that you're doing inside your business, so to speak. And this is the same for your clients. So this is very general business education. It's natural for us to grow. What we really want to do is scale. And scaling is where you not only grow revenue. So if we think of Jen, for example, over the space of a year, she grew her revenue a lot, but that wasn't her focus. Her revenue grew as a side effect of working with all of her existing clients to double their fees over a year. Okay, so the revenue growing wasn't the focus. The focus was on scaling her practice, which meant really getting smarter around products and pricing, doubling all of her fees for all of her clients over a year, seeing, how many fall away, and it was only a few. So if you double your fees for your clients, you would have to lose half of them before you even still maintained the same, and all that would happen then is you'd have more time off and you'd have a higher gross profit, right? But in this case, as is in every case when you're working with me around this stuff, you're only going to let go of a few clients, maybe in this case for Jen, less than 10%. Okay, so a few clients as you double your fees, which meant that Jen's net profit doubled. Okay, so she was able to double her net profit through doubling the fees. Now, of course, the revenue went up, but that's just a note on growing versus scaling. Now, if you're like, say, Karen Thompson, for example, she was only 6 months in and she was looking to acquire some new clients, but get smarter around the clients she was serving as well. So Karen was naturally growing the revenue as she brought on new clients. She was dealing with legacy just to smarten them up a little bit and fix up products and pricing to provide her clients with better packages, better outcomes, but also the oxygen in her business, which is the profit and cash. And then the other thing about scaling relevant to these stories is it's really about building a real business, okay? What I noticed when I ran the success panel, and it was a beautiful thing that has really stayed with me, and I actually have spoken to my team about it, and that is that tribe members said they felt that after working with me for a period of time that they were finally actually running a business. And what they realized during that time is they weren't running a business before. They said they were self-employed, the business was running them, and all these other things. And that is something that I found very touching. And to scale your business is to have the revenue perhaps go up. Doesn't have to, actually. The revenue could stay where it is if you got smarter, but having your revenue go up, having your gross profit go up, having your net profit go up, having your take-home pay go up, having the ability to become more efficient and reduce your costs through efficiency, like Karen Andrews talks about, using our standard operating procedures, through solving more problems with advisory, okay? And then finally, through recruiting and managing team in a smart way. In my second book that I'm working on now, hopefully published soon, I give you some stuff around financial management, but the key area I want you to think about is the mistakes that 90% of bookkeepers make around recruiting and managing teams. So inside the program, we have a blueprint for that. So just want to remind everyone that we want to scale, because as you recruit team, a part of scaling is freeing up your time. Okay, freeing up your time is part of scaling. In terms of marketing, so for brand marketing and selling, we split the program into two parts. So realistically, there's two parts of your bookkeeping practice that I want you to think about. There's win the work and do the work. So imagine in your mind right now, you're literally drawing a line, and on the left-hand side is win the work and on the right-hand side is do the work. Because these are such different beasts, and because if we look globally at any other bookkeeping coach and system, they'll all have good stuff around the do the work business administration. They'll all have some great stuff there. The back end business administration compared to the front end. So the back end business administration, which is practice admin, general admin, okay, and the do the work stuff and recruit and manage team, is quite black and white and linear, and it doesn't change that much, okay? The tech sometimes changes, but it doesn't change that much, and it is much easier to coach anyone around that stuff. And I have my right hand, Jo McMahon, in our program. Her single focus is on supporting the team around the back end business administration, do the work side of your business, okay? The front end, brand marketing and selling, is much more like a Picasso. It's constantly changing with the tech, economic and consumer landscape. Age-old principles remain the same. For example, keep in touch marketing, but the way we apply that principle, for example, a newsletter, which is now redundant and useless, but it is the keep in touch principle, right? So look at the principle in the application. The principle doesn't change. the application does. Okay, so unlike back end, front end is constantly changing and evolving. Now, globally, nobody, no coach, no system, nobody is giving you the step-by-step detail and support that you need. Okay, team, education, assets, implementation, support that I talked about before, the 5 big keys. I've been asked, how am I different to other coaches? Holy cow, that front end of your business, I am the only one that gives you all of that. And when I was building it, I recognized how much all other systems miss the mark there, okay, and what we give you. And a word on other coaches and systems. In the interviews inside the tribe, what the members of my program tell me is, Jeannie, yes, I was coached by another coach. Yes, I was coached by another bookkeeping coach, well-known bookkeeping coach, well-known system. And it doesn't scratch the surface of what you give us and the return on investment that we're getting. Okay, so many bookkeepers tell me about well-known bookkeeping coaches, and they were the only ones around before I decided to show up. There is no comparing what anyone else does to what we do and what I do and what my team does inside the transformation program. Nobody gives you what we give you and then supports you to make it all work, let alone at the fee structure. Okay, so we've heard from bookkeepers that have spent $50,000 with well-known bookkeeping coaches and systems, and our program is a fraction. It is $99 a week for a commitment of a minimum 1-year term. And as I said, 70% of our members elect to stay all in and keep leveling up into the next things that they realize they can see that they can do to increase the intelligence inside their practice and to just keep thriving. So the question around the network was really interesting. So yes, I help you. So I've got in front of me the bookkeeping practice blueprint. So I'm going to connect everyone to this as well. So you'll notice that the left-hand side, we want you to nail super fast. So that would normally take 10 years, and most bookkeepers wouldn't nail it in 10 years, but it took me 10 years to nail that. You can nail that within 2 weeks of joining. Okay, I'm going to let you look at that left-hand side of the blueprint yourself. And then on the right-hand side, once I know you're ready to maximize the opportunity that exists when you find prospective clients, then we move to the right-hand side of the blueprint, and it's like, okay, let me show you how we do the marketing layering to find the networks, to find the audience, okay? And there are 5 definitive strategies, 3 of which you need to perfect first: your existing audience, business networking, and partnership marketing. And yes, we show you how to go from 0 clients, okay, to building a pipeline and a wait list. We show you how to engage that audience, because just finding an audience is useless if you don't know how to engage them. Then we show you how to wear the business development hat to do the business development activities, which nobody globally shows bookkeepers how to do that, and then pulling it all together at the bottom there. So yes, nobody provides you with the end-to-end brand marketing and selling support that we do, including you are becoming a member of a licensed membership program. So you'll plug into the power of being a certified strategic bookkeeper and getting a lot of done for you. For example, the day you join my program, you have a done for you free business fundamentals training. Some people actually charge for it, but we show you how to plug that into your marketing ecosystem and how to get that working for you. Okay. Don't forget, in terms of marketing, welcome line nurture assets are key, and you get 10 perfected by us. One of them is that business fundamentals training, and all these 10 welcome line nurture assets that will nurture an audience to become a pipeline. Okay, so all of these are repurposable, meaning we show you how to take one, like the event, and repurpose it. And I'll give you an example. So the event that I talk about is the business fundamentals training that's done for you, but you're also trained how you can run it yourself live or recorded, or just use the version I give you. You can use that to engage prospective clients, but you can also use it in your productized service to elevate the value of what you are recommending to prospective clients, which means your conversion process goes up. Okay, so database nurture, definitely we do that the best in the world. And in terms of bookkeeping coaches, nobody globally gives the amount of marketing support that we give you. I've actually heard from quite a few bookkeepers who are telling me in some way, shape, or form that health issues are holding them back. Can I give you a gift right now that I will be mentioning in my new book? Can I recommend that you look up Dr. Kate Shanahan? And she has 2 books. They're pretty much the same, but written in a different way. Her latest book is Dark Calories. That is the first thing that I want you to do, is to embrace something that changed and saved my life. I suffered from pain and fatigue all my life. Finding Dr. Kate was the beginning and most of the answer that I needed to transform that. Okay, but certainly on my radar, I would love to share some more things around health. I actually have a private Facebook group called The Healthy Bookkeeper. You are welcome to look it up and join. I also want to take a second to thank the bookkeepers who have emailed me. One of the bookkeepers said that she appreciates my time and patience, but doesn't want to be bothersome. But these emails do actually help me by giving me feedback. They help me to understand the obstacles that everybody is facing. And I have noticed that health and productivity are 2 big obstacles. Now, inside the program, we help you with mindset, productivity, and mechanics. So mindset being making sure that you are not held back by the shame gremlins and things like that. And then number 2, productivity. So productivity holds a lot of bookkeepers back, and I need you to learn how to become a highly productive human, and we help you with that. And then there's the mechanics. Okay, so the mechanics is all the stuff you need to do, like the marketing and the recruitment and just all the things. But mindset and productivity, if those 2 aren't in check, it's very hard to make the mechanics work. So I'm always helping you with that. At the moment, it is really on the radar for me to dive deeper and deeper into that. Okay. Oh, one thing I'll mention in terms of marketing that I don't talk about much, because it has been a bit of a work in progress. We have a platform called betterinbusiness.global. The directory is just rolling out as we speak. So this is a little bit of an in its infancy done for you lead gen. Okay. So at the moment, and since the program started, and actually for years before that, I've had a podcast, Better in Business podcast. Now that podcast, if you listen to say episode 1 or episode 2, you'll notice that it pitches strategic bookkeeping and strategic bookkeepers. We have now hired a partnership manager in South Africa who will be working on expanding that platform and expanding our partnerships to get the podcast and the other Welcome Line Nurture assets out to partners globally to drive demand and desire for strategic bookkeeping for the paying members of our program. As I said, nothing globally comes close to what we give you. Okay, so just looking at another email that I've got here. This particular bookkeeper says, I am trying to grow my bookkeeping practice so I can have a better work-life balance. And this one there's a few things about health in here as well. And for this bookkeeper, the fee structure is holding her back, okay? Now, if you can join my program, and I'm going to use Deb Stevenson as an example, because actually, just as I have suffered a lot of health issues over the years, which, as I said, I have fixed every health problem. Oh my goodness, I'm counting the days where I haven't had to take a painkiller for headaches. For that one, oh my goodness, massively increasing salt, believe it or not, and also magnesium has really helped. And also this is my first year where I haven't got sick at all. So I've never had a year in my life of not being sick, and it's my first entire year, and I've traveled to many places all over the world and I still haven't got sick. So it's been amazing. Please read Dr. Kate Shanahan, Dark Calories. So just thinking about Deb. So when Deb joined the program, it was her last ditch attempt after 40 years to make it work. And Deb is one of the most skilled, incredible technical bookkeepers, and she's an income tax accountant that I have ever met. And Deb was in the same kind of situation with fee structure. She backed herself and joined. So what Deb did is she was very motivated to follow what I gave her step by step. She only tuned into me. She said she was falling asleep, listening to the sound of my voice. So she jumped in and she just did exactly what I said. In fact, people said, Deb, what are you doing? And she said just exactly what Jeannie said, okay? And then what happened is as she implemented things little by little, she was actually able to have the results, okay? So let's say, for example, Deb was charging about $150 an hour for training, and then I think at first she was charging even less. So she was able to charge out a lot more for training, and that would pay, let's say she made $1,000 extra. Well, that was 10 weeks of the program paid for. And then the next thing she did and the next thing. So she was always able to have the results of the implementation exceeding what she was paying for the program. And that's what I wanted to happen, because way back when I was building the program, way back when I started my bookkeeping practice journey, it was a global financial crisis. I've talked about that in events and podcasts. I won't go into it now, but let's just say the whole reason I give you a payment plan is because that's what I would have liked at the beginning, okay? So if you come into the program and you embrace progress over perfection and you don't fuck with my collateral, okay, I know I'm swearing right now, but if you don't mess with my collateral, if you just do what I ask you to do and trust me now and believe me later, like Deb, like Karen, like Jen, like everybody who gets the big numbers on the board, okay, then you should have exactly the same experience. And if you want to try and do this outside the program, you need to understand it'll cost you about 10 times the fee structure of the program. And I will let you know that the things that would hold you back if you come in is definitely the opposite of what I just said. So if you are going perfection over progress, if you are just, not doing exactly what I say, like if you're not giving me 100% of your attention, if you're going and listening to other audiobooks when you should be listening to my content, these are the barriers. If you're pushing back and saying, yeah, well, I want to do it differently. Okay, I've got a blueprint. The blueprint works. Come in and work the system. The system will work for you. And on top of everything, there's coaching implementation every single week where you turn up and you tell me what's working, what's not working. And I just go through it all with you. I just did that with like a really successful member of my program. She just was trying to onboard someone. She thought they were going to say yes. And they said no. And she was really disappointed. So I reached out to her privately and I said, hey, I just want to check, did you do this? And she said, you know what? I didn't do any of that because I just thought she was going to move ahead. And I'm like, oh, if you don't follow the system won't work, okay? And that's someone who's been in for ages, right? We can all kind of go in the wrong direction. But when I reached out to her privately, when she posted in the private community, then this is where the implementation comes in. Okay, so you get exactly what you need to do, but you won't always get it right. Yeah. Early on, Deb Stevenson said to me, Jeannie, I'm a bit worried about my conversion process. I asked her what she was doing. She was missing one step. She went and did that step. The rest is history. 331% increase in profit in a year. She now has a full-time staff member. She is knocking it out of the ballpark. Okay. And actually, this bookkeeper asked again, do we give ways to do marketing? I've answered that. And then she said, or do we just get a bit of a confidence boost to help network better? Do you know, when I read that, I gasped, like it shocked me, because no, you don't just get a bit of a confidence boost, okay? With networking, it is one of the most detailed step-by-step modules in my program. And I can tell you it's one area where if you don't use a specific formula to the letter, it is actually tricky to get results. But I hate the idea that there are other systems and coaches out there that give you general stuff and a confidence boost. That is horrifying to me. That will not give you the success that you want and need, okay? It's interesting with this bookkeeper's email, like she is talking to me about limitations around health, and I get that. And so I think the advice that I would give to her, let's call her Renee, that's not her name for privacy, but for Renee, I get it, okay? I get that You might feel like there's constraints. And so, Renee, for you, if you come into the program, I need you to turn up to the coaching sessions. Okay. So as a coach, if you're getting one-on-one with me, I'd be more like $60,000 a year. Okay. So for that fee, 5,000 US a year, get in front of me. Okay. And lean in and don't do anything other than what I prescribe. Okay. Because what I prescribe is the 5% that will move the needle. And Renee, I need to work with you closely on mindset and productivity. I need to help you to get 10 times more done in the same time. And the way I'm going to help you with that is turn up to the coaching, turn up ready to be open and honest with me, with yourself, and to be vulnerable and know that it is a safe space, okay? And then to tell me exactly what you're doing so that I can direct and redirect you, okay? So the coaching implementation sessions inside the program that happen weekly get 10 out of 10. Now, this also includes the ability to jump into Facebook and do either a post or a video. And then I'm jumping in regularly looking for the content. Who do I need to answer? I jump in, respond with video content because your question is always everybody's question. And then that video content, my assistant and I turn into a private podcast so that if you miss the Facebook, you get email notification. There's now another private podcast and you can listen while you're driving to get all the gold. Okay, so that's what I'll say to you. Now, this bookkeeper Renee says, honestly, I'm really desperate to grow my business. If you're desperate to grow your business, you are going to join my program and you're going to lean in and you're going to give me yourself. You're going to give me everything you've got. Whatever you've got, you're going to give me everything. I have a joke that I say to my beautiful women inside the program. We've got mainly women, got a couple of guys, mainly women. And I say to the women, so literally when your husband is talking to you, I want you to pretend you're listening while I'm in your headphones, right? Like that is my little joke. Give me everything, follow my system step by step, relax, okay? Trust me. You don't even need to understand how it all works to get results. It will just work. The templates, the assets, everything is there. It is literally plug and play. I knew that if I was going to try and teach you, it was going to take a long time. So I give it to you, okay? And you just plug and play, and then you tell me, Jeannie, here's what's working, here's what's not, here's what I'm confused about, and I direct and redirect you, okay? Now, just getting on to the last few emails, I'll also mention we have a 30-day trial, okay? So you can absolutely jump into the 30-day trial, and it is a no-risk way to try, and the investment is about 400 US dollars. If you were to jump in and you feel like this is not for me, which never happens, okay? The 30-day trial, the uptake into the program is massive, okay? And I've got someone now in the 30-day trial who is going freaking wild for the program, okay? So if you jump in, but you find it's not for you, just opt out, okay? So someone else has asked me about my target market, okay? So the Strategic Bookkeeper Transformation Program is for bookkeepers in practice. So whether you are day one or day 40 years in, okay, I don't know how many days that is, then that's my target market. My target market is not bookkeepers who aren't ready to open their practice. So as long as you are maximum 12 weeks out, so anyone from startup to in practice like Deb Stevenson for 40 years, I'm for bookkeepers in practice who want to increase their income and their time wealth through scaling their bookkeeping practice. And that includes bookkeepers like Karen Andrews who are already running thriving practices, but have identified that through team education, assets, implementation, and support, they can further optimize their business. Another bookkeeper talks about being time poor and full with clients, undecided on whether they want to grow. So you really need to think about income and time and joy, really, okay? So look at the take-home income that you're making, the time that you are working, and also the joy you are getting from your business and your gut feel, because I know early on, my gut feel was I need some help, okay? Look at those things, and if you think, you know what, I need some help, the transformation program is for you. And another bookkeeper says time. I feel like I've answered that one a fair bit. That I could go on about that one. I mean, my little joke is if you've got no time, that's exactly why you need to join, okay? However, I am here to give you all the information and then to help you to just self-assess when you want to join the program if you are going to join us, okay? I'm going to drop links into things that we discussed in here. So, for example, the success panel, the blueprint, but I think that was the main things, okay? And for you, for anyone else, any more questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. Hopefully, we will see you inside the program this round, if not 2025, and I will see you in the next episode. Okay, my friend, now it is time to take action. So, what are you going to do with what you learned today? The way I see it, you've got two options. You can go it alone to try and save some money, or you can back yourself and go for it and join my tribe. And let me tell you, we are knocking it out of the ballpark. That's not a sales pitch. That is me serving you, dare I say, courageously. To find success, I 100% know you need the mechanics, which is like the keys to the kingdom, but you also need to get your mindset right and be super productive. And these are all things I help you with inside the program. I could go on about this forever because I really want this for you. Have a prosperous week, and I'll see you in the next episode.